What is the best time to study? Is it morning, evening, or night? If you want to know, according to you, then in this video you have to stay tuned because I will be asking you some questions and you have to write out the points of the answers given by you. If you honestly do this, then believe me, you will be knowing what type you are, morning, evening, or night after this video. So stay tuned and let's get started. What time would you get up if you were entirely free to plan your own day? Option A, 5 to 6:30 am. Option B, 6:30 to 7:45 am. Option C, 7:45 to 9:45 am. Option D, 9:45 to 11 am. Option E, 11 am to noon. So, write down the point of your answer and then keep it aside. Now let's get to the next question. What time would you go to bed if you were entirely free to plan your evening? Option A, 8 pm to 9 pm. Option B, 9 pm to 10:15 pm. Option C, 10:15 pm to 12:30 am. Option D, 12:30 am to 1:45 am. Option E, 1:45 am to 3 am. Now, write down again the points of the answer given by you. Now let's get to the next question. How dependent are you on being woken up by an alarm clock? Option A, not at all. Option B, slightly dependent. Option C, fairly dependent. Option D, very dependent. So, write down the points of your answer and now let's get back to the quiz. How easy do you find getting up in the mornings? Option A, not at all. Option B, not very easy. Option C, fairly easy. Option D, very easy. Write down the points again by the answer given by you. Now let's get again to the next question. How alert do you feel during the first half hour after having woken in the morning? Option A, not at all. Option B, not very alert. Option C, fairly alert. Option D, very alert. Write down the points and now let's get back to the quiz. How is your appetite during the first half hour after having woken in the morning? A, very poor. B, fairly poor. Option C, fairly good. Option D, very good. Hope so you have written the points. Now let's again move to our next question. During the first half hour after having woken in the morning, how tired do you feel? Very tired, fairly tired, fairly refreshed, or very refreshed? Write down the points and now again let's move to the next question. When you have no commitments the next day, at what time do you go to bed compared to your usual bedtime? Option A, seldom or never later. Option B, less than 1 hour later. Option C, 1 to 2 hours later. Option D, more than 2 hours later. Hope so you have written the points. Now let's get back to the quiz. How well would you perform 1 hour's worth of physical exercise between 7 am and 8 am? Option A, would be in good form. Option B, would be in reasonable form. Option C, would find it difficult. Option D, would find it very difficult. Hope so you have written the point of your given answer. Now let's move to our next question. When do you feel tired and in need of sleep? Option A, 8 pm to 9 pm. Option B, 9 pm to 10:15 pm. Option C, 10:15 pm to 12:30 am. Option D, 12:30 am to 1:45 am. Option E, 1:45 am to 3 am. Write down the points and now let's move to the next question. Which one of the 4 testing times would you choose to take a 2-hour test? 8 am to 10 am, 11 am to 1 pm, 3 pm to 5 pm, or 7 pm to 9 pm. Write down the point of your answer and now let's move to the next question. If you went to bed at 11 pm, how tired would you be? Option A, not at all. Option B, a little tired. Option C, fairly tired. Option D, very tired. Hope so you have written the points. Now let's get back to the quiz. If you go to the bed much later than usual but don't need to get up at any particular time the next morning, Which one of the following events are you most likely to experience? Option A. Will wake up at usual time and will not fall asleep. Option B. Will wake up at usual time but will doze. Option C. Will wake up at usual time but will fall asleep again. Option D. Will not wake up at usual time. Hope so you have written your points. Now let's get back to the quiz. If you had to stay awake between 4 am and 6 am and you had no commitments the next day, which one of the following alternatives would you choose? Option A. Would not go to bed until after 6 am. Option B. Would take a nap before 4 am and then sleep after. Option C. Would take a good sleep before 4 am and then nap after. Option D. Would take all sleep before 4 am. Hope so you have written the points of your answer. You have to do 2 hours of hard physical work. You are entirely free to plan your day. Which one of the following times would you choose most to do stuff? Option A. 8 am to 10 am. Option B. 11 am to 1 pm. Option C. 3 pm to 5 pm. Option D. 7 pm to 9 pm. Hope so you have written your points. Now let's get back to the quiz. You are planning a hard physical workout with a friend. You will do this for 1 hour twice a week. The best time for your friend is between 10 pm to 11 pm. How well do you think you would perform at this time? Option A. Would be in good form. Option B. Would be in reasonable form. Option C. Would find it difficult. Option D. Would find it very difficult. Hope so you have written the points of your given answer. Now let's move to our next question. Suppose that you have graduated high school and you can choose your own work hours. Assume you can work a 5-hour day, including breaks, at an interesting job and are paid by your results. Which 5 consecutive hours would you select? Option A. 3 am to 7:30 am. Option B. 7:30 am to 12:30 pm. Option C. 9 am and 2 pm. Option D. 2 pm and 7 pm. Option E. 5 pm to 3 am. Hope so you have written the points of your given answer. Now let's move to the next question. At what time of the day do you think that you reach out? At what time of the day do you think that you reach your feeling based peak? Option A. 4 am to 7:30 am. Option B. 7:30 to 9:30 am. Option C. Between 9:30 am and 4:30 pm. Option D. Between 4:30 pm and 9:30 pm. Option E. 9:30 pm to 4 am. Write down the points of your given answer and let's move to the last question of this quiz. Do you think you are a morning or an evening type of person? Option A. Definitely a morning type. Option B. Probably a morning type. Option C. Probably an evening type. Option D. Definitely an evening type. So, write down the points of this question and then you will get to know which type you are, and morning type, evening type or night type. First of all, you have to sum up all your points and then I will tell you which type you are. So you can pause this video right now and then sum up and then I will tell you which type you are.